All right,
We're
welcome
live.
back to Millennium Workshop. I got Scott Barry with me hanging out while we do a full model on a Star Wars wall panel today.
Yep. Yeah. He hit me up. He's like, "Hey, if you want to come on my show, it starts in like 30 minutes." You're like, "Okay, sure." So thank you for inviting me.
Appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Got
trying to
it on
get
the
this
big
as
TV
like,
too. That looks cool. That looks really cool, man.
yeah, so this is Kelly's R2 panel that he did from Prop and Villainy.
Kelly Stern, amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a great dude.
So So I reached out to him and I was like, hey, I want to do a live or I want to do a video on how to 3D model. And I was like, hey, can I use one of your panels? Because they're just awesome. And he's like, sure, go ahead, do it. So, like, we're doing it.
Nice.
Have you ever seen SHAPR3D, Scott?
No, I have not. Miles introduced me into Tinkercad for some little bits of stuff, like creating some greeblies and things when I did that Tanev, which blew me away and opened up my world, and it was all of a sudden this crazy thing. But I have not seen Shaper.
Well, Shaper will kind of like change your world, in my opinion. Um, so if everyone that's watching, if you've never heard of Shaper 3D, basically you're going to draw everything out. And then once you get it how you want, you can actually just extrude it as big as you want.
Wow.
And you can, make edges round. You can really just have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, you can get stuff going real quick. Wow, that's really cool.
And what I really liked about the program was as soon as you downloaded it, it walked you through a video where you had to do the video to learn everything.
That's cool.
So there was no like guessing or you have to like figure it out or call somebody.
Well, I mean, instead, or sitting down for 40 hours worth of YouTube videos or something, they're trying to make sure that you have success with their product instead of like giving up really quickly. Because a lot of people just don't have patience anymore or don't have the time. So it's like, if
Nope.
I can't figure this out in 20 minutes, I'm done with it. I don't want it.
Oh, 100%. Like trying to learn Blender. I mean, you have to take a class, a course, and it's tough.
Yeah, yeah.
So kind of just go over a little bit um, what my thinking is when I'm starting a project like this. I use like either a reference photo or you can just draw out whatever you want.
Okay.
Just import in a photo, a file. You can take a picture of what you want to work on, and you can kind of just go from there.
So
Over here on the left,
what you have on the screen right now is you imported a photo, right? Correct?
so yeah, this one I took from Props and Villainy.
Yeah, but it's a photo, right? You imported a
And,
photo.
yep, this is just a photo.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm understanding.
And then on your left hand side, you're going to have all your items. So all your drawings, all your images. It's basically your kind of like your control panel.
Gotcha.
And then on the right hand side, you have your cube, so you can see front face, back face, see kind of where you're drawing at.
Yeah, that's like
But
a
right off the bat,
fusion type thing too. So yeah,
So kind of Ralph, but I like to start off with like a top view, and I start with my sketch. Now you have lines, you get curves, you can do shapes, and you have your trim tool right here. I'm sorry, that's super blurry, guys.
so you
And
got
then
Colby, Brick
more, there's like
Creations, and Nerd Affiliated. What's up, guys?
this. Yeah, Colby, he's been sending me a lot of stuff that he's been making, and he is just killing it.
That's awesome. I'll check you out, man.
I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna make this about 12 by 9.
Okay.
And then looks like that's off center just a little bit. Now, great thing is none of this has to be like perfectly outlined. It's your own at this point when you start to design this.
Okay.
Looks like there's a little bit of a gap. And what's really cool is it tries to like grab so you can make perfectly straight lines.
That's cool.
And if you want to get rid of a line, you just hit your trim tool and erase. What's also cool is when you're in your line, Scott, you can draw a perfect circle if you want.
That's handy.
Move that circle around. That looks pretty good. Looks like there's another circle here. And then let's go to offset edge loop. And you're going to be able to make a perfect circle at whatever size you want. That's basically just going to copy the circle that you just made.
Gotcha.
I want to add more there. Now you can go to the same offset instead of just doing like we don't. I mean, I don't know why it does that, but you can actually change that to a single line.
Gotcha.
Bring that in. But I just feel like with this program, there's not a lot of thinking behind it.
Right. It's very intuitive. You're catching on quick. You understand what it's doing.
Yeah, I mean, I started with the program, and like a week later, I made the entire Sand Trooper backpack.
Wow.
And if you ever get kind of lost, you just hit your cube top view, and it'll put you right back to where you need to be looking at. Now, I have found out that you want to clean up lines because when you extrude things, sometimes like if there's like this slight little triangle right here, when you extrude that, that's not going to be there.
Right.
Right? And when you go to kind of merge the model together and then try to print it, it's the printer gets confused because there's this little hole in the model and you have to try to like fix it or put it into another program.
Right. Yeah, Colby, exactly what I was thinking. Not cleaning them up would be a non-manifold edge. Exactly. Nerd. It's like to think of where I was a year ago or whatever, was starting to understand 3D printing and things, and where Janine is and everything else today. It's just crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Well, and that's what I mean. I love about this hobby is there's so many people in the community that you can reach out to that can help you.
Yep.
And I think that's looking pretty good on kind of a copy of that, other than I made a slight change where there's more boxes on there.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Got that extra square in the square section.
And I think I want to make those so like this one's a little bit shorter, taller, shorter, taller.
Right, right. Hi, Eddie.
Now, if you want to make like everything like perfectly mathematically symmetrical, you can. You take that time.
Brett entered the chat and
Brett,
he asked Rex, "Is this program worth the price for you?" He said, "Yeah, is this program worth the price for you?" I know you'll say yes, just meaning for anyone wanting to do more custom props, etc.
so at first, when you download the program, you can do all of this for free.
Good to know.
When you export it, a circle will look like a hexagon. It's not going to be a perfect, smooth STL. So you lose some, um, what's the word I'm looking
Resolution.
for? Yeah, so I mean, it's like if you're on Thingiverse and you download a file and it's just the polygon count is really low. It's just not the best file, but you could make it better by putting it into Blender or or using another software or program to clean it up.
Gotcha.
So paying for it just kind of makes it where you don't have to like jump through some extra hoops. But for me, I mean, it's worth paying it each month.
So it's a subscription, and the difference between the free and a subscription is like you're saying with like a circle that comes out as a circle instead of a hexagon. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like it's going to be perfectly smooth or textured or whatever you design it, it's going to be that.
Got it.
But it is a little bit pricey, but I've made some really cool things, or I've remodeled some greeblies that I wanted to add to a project, and it was real quick, fast, and easy.
That's cool. Well, I mean, it
It's like
depends on how much
Blender.
you're using it, right? It's just like anything else. Tools are tools, and depending on the cost, if it works or you can charge for it, you know, and kind of break it down monthly and kind of charge as you go or whatever.
Yep. That's usually kind of how I look at it. It's like, am I getting my money's worth? Is it worth it to me? But I mean, you can add people to your account too. So if like you have a friend that has it and want to learn, and you could always add them to your. I think it's like team flow, workflow.
Okay. Yeah. Eddie says classes in session. Definitely got to watch again. Brett is Rex got me on the free version. There's some functionality you don't get, but it's really cool, and you're able to design right away. If you did Greeblies on the regular, no doubt this would be worth it. Yep, I see it, and I think that's a great idea. It's like if you're interested in it, try the free version, get to know it, get to work with it, see if it's working for you, and then when you're ready to start trying to export stuff out or print it, then you go for the paid version. You know, totally see that. That's
And
cool.
that's 100% what I did. I did the free version until I felt comfortable to be like, okay, I'm gonna pay for this so I can have better quality.
Brett says, "Add me. I got $6."
We might be able to do that, Brett.
It's really cool that you can just kind of
Now there are.
figure this
No,
out off of a
sorry.
photo. You know what I mean?
Well, you just gotta kind of look at everything as like squares, boxes, circles, just kind of
Primitives,
because you're gonna start thinking 3D as you start extruding.
right?
Yeah, very primitive. Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like it's primitives, squares, triangles, circles, spheres, that kind of stuff. Like you would use even in the slicer programs or whatever. Is if you want to cut something out or create something, you can use a primitive, a cylinder, whatever you want, and it's amazing at what you can do with just basic shapes. You know?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just it's wild how easy it could be. And I know like I was super like intimidated by all this.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm just gonna kind of do these kind of fast. There's not gonna be a rhythm to a rhyme on this.
Is it automatically saying, "Oh, you're probably going to want this measurement in between, so they're all even"?
Yeah, so on the latest update, they just started where it'll start measuring it out for you, or it'll predict what you're.
Trying to do. Yeah.
Not all those are perfectly spaced, but it's okay. Doesn't need to be.
Give me 2 seconds. Be right back.
No, you're good. Brett, thank you so much, man. My first super chat. Thank you, Brett. That really means a lot. Thank you. New the whole like live stream, so I don't really know how to blow everything up in comments.
Back. Sorry,
Welcome back.
there's this medication that I'm on that is trying to get rid of excess fluid, because I have the edema still in the feet because of the flash pulmonary edema. So I'm on this stuff. It's called Lasix, and yeah, it's like every 20 minutes, man. You got to pee. So it's all good.
That's wild. I'm so glad that, man, that you have really bounced back and
Thank you.
bounced back pretty fast, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's still a process, but it is getting better each day, man. It's like I notice I can go a little bit farther, I can do a little bit more, and with Janine, my wife, that documented everything through it. It's like you look back. We were talking about this morning. You look back and you really do see a huge change and a huge difference in that time. So it's definitely good to know because it's like it's still too slow for me. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Oh, and it's always going to be slow for you because it's like going to like I took my daughter to this pool the other day, and I got up on the diving board and I dove in high school and some college, and I got done. I jumped off that diving board like 4 or 5 times, and I'm like, my neck hurts now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, almost 35, and I'm like, I'm feeling it now. It's like I should be recovered by now.
Dude, I remember being in my cabinet shop and I got up on the table saw to get something out of a rafter or whatever. And I came back down and I jumped off of it. This would have been when I was about maybe even 22, 21, 22. And all of a sudden I felt my weight and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do stuff I used to do. And that was back in my 20s, So yeah, 30s and now, of course, me, my 50s. It's a big difference.
Well, it's like I took my daughter to a trampoline park, and I was jumping on the trampoline with her, and I felt my spine get longer.
Right? You feel your skin go, oh, each time you jump, you're like, oh. Yeah. No, I know it.
And for like a week, I was like, "Oh man, I feel like I'm on death's door because my whole body hurt."
Well, years ago, okay, so years ago when I would play out in clubs, this was probably in the 80s, late 80s or whatever, and the videotaping of you playing was always kind of poor because video cameras back then weren't that great. But you would sit there and you're like, you're playing. For me being a keyboard player, I feel like I'm doing this throughout the whole show. I'm just like, yeah, head banging like this, throughout the whole show. You go back and you watch the video and you're like this. It's like nothing, compared to these huge swings that you're thinking. However, the next morning you wake up and you're like, God, did I break my neck? Because you don't do it enough, You don't do it enough. It's like your body's like, what the hell are
Yeah.
you trying to do? Yeah, it's crazy. Kids today, I'll tell you. Yeah, that's what Brett says. His neck hurts and he calls me sleepy. Yeah, yeah. Call me. I'm glad it's not just me that throws out my back when I know when you sneeze, right? You can throw your back out, step off a curb. It's like you get to that age where all of a sudden you start to realize you can break. Or like what I felt, realized I was not invincible anymore with the heart attack. So it's like it
Oh
really
yeah.
changes your perspective on things.
Well, and when you were in the hospital, Megan was also in the hospital at
I
the same
know.
time.
That's scary, dude.
And yeah, it was terrifying, man.
How's she doing, by the way?
She's doing a lot better. She
Good.
has to be on blood thinners for quite some time.
Yep, same here.
That's scary because if you hit your head and you need to go to the hospital immediately.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I need to think
Janine with the super chat, thank you so much.
Mhm. Yeah, Janine got you a super chat, right? Yeah. 199. Congrats.
Thank you.
Hmm. Yeah, Eddie says he doesn't just get out of bed, he rolls out. Yeah. Yeah, because if you do too many movements, you're risking a hospital visit.
No, and I mean, you look at it and like, oh, that's never going to happen to me. I'm going to be invincible forever.
Nope. No. I mean, the only
And
things
you
I can
get
say
really
that
ill.
helps with a lot of that stuff is being active or more active. If you're sitting in a chair, like for me, sit in a chair all day, get out of the damn chair as much as you can, move around, walk, exercise however you can, because the more that you're moving stuff in your body and you're doing things, the less chances are to seriously hurt yourself, right? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Yeah, Brett says after 50 something, it hurts as soon as you get out of bed. It's just a regular expectation, right? What were we saying, babe?
The pandemic did you in.
Oh, the
So you
pandemic.
went from traveling all the time to sitting in a chair.
Yeah, it's like what Janine's saying. She goes, I went from traveling all the time. I was all over the place to the pandemic where I'm sitting in a chair all day long, 12 hours straight or whatever I was doing. That wears on you.
It was bad.
Yeah, the pandemic was a wild time.
There's a lot of good in my eyes that came out of that. A lot of us started collecting, even though we were lifelong fans. Myself started getting into other things, getting the community together that we have, um, being able to stop for a little while and just chill and be able to just do other things that you wanted to do. There's a lot of good that came out of that side of it. The bad part again, sitting in a chair for too damn long, but
Working from home.
and the working
No,
from home was really nice. But yeah, I mean, there's another way to do it. There's another way you can do it.
well, it's like I was selling jewelry as a customer care rep out of my garage every day.
Right? Did you have the trench coat where you'd open it up and be like,
That
"Do you
was really
want any of
awesome.
these watches?" No, that would have been cool. But yeah,
Or like I would have to call customers and be like, hey, we're doing the best we can. We're gonna try to get open as fast as we can. Your jewelry is safe, because
yeah,
people
yeah,
dropped off jewelry to get worked on. We didn't have access to our stores because we weren't allowed to go in.
right. Yep. Well, I couldn't do that either. We couldn't go up to the office without permission. But again, the office for me is 2 hours away. So I'm in San Diego. Office is in LA. Um, Traveling was just not going to happen. You know. And then the fear at that point was that so much of my job was traveling and visiting stores and doing all the other stuff. Well, if all those stores are shut down, you can't do anything. You start panicking on, do they need me? Are they going to put me on furlough or something
Yeah.
like that? And we just invented new ways of doing stuff. So we started streaming online. We started doing more videos and things like that, and getting set up to where I'm set up now with the multiple cameras and all that other stuff and the teaching, and that's what got us through. So it became a new way of doing stuff. So again, good things that
That's
came out of
awesome.
stuff, you know.
You know,
Eddie says this is definitely a great community. Rex has helped me and encouraged me a lot. A stand-up guy. He's encouraged a lot of people, Eddie. Not just you, us, myself, my wife, Brett. It's amazing. And like if you have a problem with something, like for me, my wife posted a problem I was having with the P1S when I first got it, and I'm already getting a phone call from Rex. All right, what's happening? What's going on? Okay, I think it could be this. Let's work on this, buddy. It's like I didn't even ask for it, and there he was. You know, pretty awesome.
I appreciate that. I feel like a lot of that stems from I didn't have a lot of help when I first started.
Right. But there are people that are good teachers and are willing to try and help you get over the hurdles, the frustration of it. I mean, obviously, the bamboo printers take a lot of that away. You're not tinkering with it, you're not toying with it all the time. But at the same time, you kind of have to go through some steps to learn, to understand, you know.
Yeah,
So I get that too. But it's like, you got people out there that are like, well, I'm going to let you figure it out because you need to fail and you need to do that and then contact me. And there's other people that are like, okay, don't touch the build plate with your hands. Do this, do that, but I want to save you some time. Make sure you do that. If you have any questions, call me, that kind of a thing. And I appreciate those people that want to save you a little bit of heartache and still let you kind of learn on your own.
yeah. Oh, 100%. Because I mean, sometimes the best learning is that failure.
Right. And speaking of failures, Brett, Rex and I talk at least once a week on what I'm screwing up. That's funny.
Well, I got onto him the other day because I told him about this like different like primer to use and this
Right?
different Bondo glazing and spot putty that's not Bondo. And then he sends me a video like a few days later, and I was like, "What? Did you just not believe me?"
Right. What was that? The U-Doll or something? Or you? I remember you
U-pole,
posted it. Yeah. And it's a car.
and it is amazing.
It's like an auto filler or something.
Yeah,
Eddie,
it's definitely game changing.
yeah. Eddie says, I know I had issues with my printer and he stepped in and printed my Mohawk for my Greedo, which is my favorite build so far. That's awesome, man. Brett asks a question. Since I missed the first half of the stream, what will this project become? So he's basically copying over a photo of a wall panel that Kelly Stern did. So props and villainy. And he'll show the photo. See the photo next to it there, Brett? He's copying that over. He'd asked Kelly's permission to be able to do that, and just kind of showing how Sketch or the program works. Was it Shaper 3D or something?
Yep, SHAPR3D. Now I'm going to make another
Hey Gap, how
box.
you doing, buddy?
So, hey Gap, what's up? So this was 12 by. What did I make that?
You made it 9, right? 12 by 9.
12. Yeah, 12 by 9.
I remember.
All right. So that's pretty darn close, I would say.
I'm amazed at what you've been able to do in a short amount of time.
Yeah, how thick do we want to make this?
Well, it's a wall panel, right? So if you made a light switch
Mhm.
cover, you'd be about a 1/4 inch or about 7 millimeters. Um, you want to make it thicker, you're looking at like, 10 millimeters is 3/8, 12 is a 1/2 inch. What do you think?
Hey, let's go 2 inches,
Okay, so 2 inches would be 50
just because
mil.
we can add stuff to it.
That's a fatty. Oh, great to see
Yeah.
you, Luis. Yeah.
Well,
Hiking strong. You got it, brother.
so what my thinking is I
Ah,
know
hey, Kelly.
that he puts greeblies on the side of stuff.
So he said 2.5 inches. Kelly says 2.5 inches. Great
All
to
right,
see
let's go
you, man.
2.5.
Yeah. Gap is
What's up,
asking, how
man?
you doing, Scott? I'm doing good. I just filled up some nice chicken soup with vegetables and crackers. Nice. Nice lunch. All right. Sorry.
No, you're good.
So 2.5 inches would be, yeah. Because you're doing it in inches. You're not working in millimeters, are you? You're working in an inch?
Um, you can. I just thought this would be a little bit easier for some people to wrap their head around.
Yeah, I get it. But it's good. I mean, once you go into metric and you start to understand metric, you're dealing in whole numbers. And it's a lot easier to go, oh, okay, I want half of 100. What is that? 50. Okay, cool. What's half of even like 75 or something? You can easily do the calculation. When you have fractions and you're dealing with 2 and 5/8, what's half of that? You have to kind of think real quick. Okay, an inch is half of 2. What's half of 5/8? 5/16 because it's 10, right? So you
Yep.
have to kind of know that, but whole numbers are a lot easier to deal with. And not to mention, your printers are using metric, your slicers using metric. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just, in my opinion, it's just far superior. Yeah, Rick says, go metric or go home. Agreed, 100%. Hey,
Yep.
Jawa, Star Wars collector, what's good, brother?
So now over to the right here, you can actually switch it from millimeters, centimeters, meters, inches, foot,
That's
and you
good.
can also like lock your millimeters in too, so that the grid boxes are a certain
Specific millimeter
millimeter or
part.
inch.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
it's good. I mean, whatever you're comfortable with, obviously. But one thing to keep in mind is that the conversion is a little off. I mean, for 1 inch, it's 25.4 millimeters. So it's just something to
Mm-hmm.
consider. With like this isn't a big deal, but something that is really intricate or needs to fit a specific way, you may want to use millimeters just to make sure that it translates over to the printer the exact same way.
Nope. And I just switched it over to millimeters now because I know exactly from 3D printing that I want each one of these pieces to be 2 to 3 millimeters thick.
Yeah. And 2 millimeters
So
is about a 16th. 3 is closer to an eighth. And it's like once
yep.
you get the basic numbers, 100 or 102 millimeters is 4 inches. 76 millimeters is 3 inches. 52 millimeters is 2 inches. You start to understand, oh, so if it's 200 and let's say 204 millimeters, it's 8 inches because you just have some basic stuff. So it's easier than you think. If anybody's out there struggling with this, it's easier than you think.
So now
And
I
not
got
to
that
mention,
piece
guys,
sitting
measuring other
on
things
top
in
of our box.
millimeters sounds better. I'm just going to say that. What was that, Rex? Sorry, I talked over you.
Oh no, you're good.
You cut out.
So I'm gonna extrude this piece. That's what. Sorry.
Oh, it's all good. And then what you're doing here, are you filling in colors or are you extruding different
I'm
depths? Ah,
selecting my box. Oops.
nice. That's very cool. Looks like a heat sink.
And then yeah, and then what's cool is you can select all the items.
Missed that one spot in the inside of that first one. Yeah. Awesome. So Louise says it's easier and the rest of the world uses the metric system. It's true. And Brett says I switch back and forth during projects for my lasers when I'm trying to line up designs sometimes, but mostly stay in metric. Yeah. Because I got so used to it, the tape measure, you sling it out and you're like, okay, it's 13 and 7/8, and I need to find center. And you're playing this stupid game of like, is it this? Is it this? When, again, metrics, whole numbers.
I mean, I grew up on both a lot, so for me it was pretty easy to kind of switch going back and forth.
Oh, yeah. But remember, they call it imperial for a reason because it's the bad guys, the bad guy measurement. I made that up. Yeah, I made that up. This is looking really cool, man.
Thank you.
So, Kelly, if you're still hanging out, and maybe Rex can even answer this, is this kind of what you're using, or is this the program you're using when you're doing your wall panels and other things that you design? Because you do amazing work, Kelly.
So I did talk to Kelly about this. He doesn't do anything 3D.
Wow.
His is
This
all
does it.
cut out
Makes
of
it.
wood, and because I was like, hey, if you ever need that piece that you found, I can remake it for you.
Right, right. Yeah. Hey, everybody has their own method, and there's something to say about doing it by hand. You know, there's a beauty. Yeah, he says, "Oh no, just scratch build." There's a beauty with that. It's like the same thing with stone or marble or wood or granite or whatever. It's its own natural thing. It's never perfect. Um, and same thing like with Star Wars helmets, right? Like a Darth Vader helmet, if it's perfectly symmetrical, like they did on Revenge of the Jedi or whatever. No, what was the Revenge of the Sith, episode 3? It's too symmetrical. It doesn't look
Mm-hmm.
right. It doesn't look like Vader. It needs that wonkiness to it. And same with a lot of the stormtroopers and stuff. You know. Colby's asking Rex, "Are you going to print this too?"
Possibly. I might do like a go back through and clean it up so it's a little bit more precise.
That's cool. And then Kelly says, "I went off a rendering a buddy drew up." So that's how he came up with that design. That's really cool.
I mean, even just drawing up pieces like this
Yeah.
and doing different shapes and sticking it onto something into a Star Wars sci-fi vibe.
Yeah, but like some of the stuff you did, like a Death Star panel, or you want one that's unique, or you don't like the ones that other people have shown you, or whatever. Um, this looks like it could be really quick for doing stuff like that. There you go.
Like
Nice.
instead of modeling that twice, you can just copy it.
Yeah. Yeah, the way things are now, it's like it used to be so difficult to do stuff.
Yeah, they're making it way too easy nowadays.
Right. Louise says, right now I'm working on a project, the wing of an X-Wing for a wall panel. I got the idea from Trent's room tour. Yeah, those were done by, if I remember right, they might have been done by Andy Lee. Different Andy. Um, but he offered those up. I thought they were a really cool um, idea, to have the X-Wing or the panel from the AT-AT or whatever. That's really cool that you're doing that. Louis, I'd love to see it, man, when you're done.
Yeah, I want to see that too.
And by the way, Trent's room was unlike anything I've ever seen. He was like a combination of some of the best top end collectors that I've ever seen, plus other stuff. You just covered the gamut.
Oh, oh yeah, his stuff was amazing.
It's like, oh, here's the French version. You're like, what? It's crazy.
So here I'm just selecting edges and rounding them out.
Yeah. So you can decide how much of that you want round.
Yep. And then it's just important to make these pieces either one or an insert, either or.
Got it.
So like I made this piece and this piece all one.
One piece. Yeah. Yeah, there's certain things like you'll look at, they're like, man, if that was separate, that would be so much easier. Or it depends on how some people make their files or do their stuff to where you can't find the right way to position it. You're like, if it just
Mm-hmm.
had that part removed, that's when you start going in and cutting stuff.
Well, and like sometimes it's just easier to make those pieces one so you can move them around too.
Yeah. So sorry.
Oh, you're good, man. It's early where you're at.
Yeah, it's not well, it's 9:50 now. I've been up since 6 something. But again, it's like I took my medication I have to take now about an hour ago. So sometimes that stuff kind of kicks in a little bit. But this helps, just like hanging out, talking, and all that, because it stops me from um, possible anxiety or anything I run into in the beginning. Keeps me busy, keeps my mind busy.
I mean, because you're just kind of just panicking. You're in panic mode for a lot of that,
Yeah.
and that's how Meg was too. I mean, it was just she's worried about everything.
Oh, it's huge. It plays a huge part, you know. And then you're dealing with other things like possible side effects from medication and things because it's like I'm really sensitive to medication. That's why I never got into drugs, thank God. Uh, so very sensitive with that. And
Thank
then,
God.
yeah, and then on top of that, going through a major thing like that, it scares you and you start fearing with everything. So, yeah. Get it, get it. There it is.
Well, sometimes if you're too far away, you'll select the line instead of like what you're trying to actually
Yeah, grab.
select.
Now, can you like type in, like, let's say you wanted that to be specifically 52 millimeters or whatever the thickness of your thing is? You can type that and just type in 52, right? And you know it's on top of it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can also do like let's say I have like a perfect cutout, which you can actually just redraw on here. And like now I can extrude this portion now just randomly out of this giant box, and then you can actually, you have to get rid of the sketch first, but you can select a line, and you can literally set it where you want it.
Got it.
Done. But that's another thing that's really cool is like I want to do front face of this box. I can now go in. It already shows me my square, and I can draw another greebly on this side.
Nice. Colby says, got to get back to work, but this is good stuff. Good chatting with you guys, and we'll watch the rest of the stream later. Later, Colby. Thanks.
Hey, thank you so much for stopping.
And Gab says, this is very fascinating, right? It is, isn't it? I'm right here. I just got to blow my nose real quick. Be right back. Alrighty.
So I just made a cutout so that we can build another greebly on the base of that.
Nice.
And I mean, that's what makes this like so simple.
Yeah.
You can also, and like, let's say I'm going to have a pipe go through there. Oops. I can cut all the way through.
Oh, that's easy
that
to do.
model now.
Yeah.
You can also take an existing STL file.
That's cool.
And go to a website called AnyConvert and convert that STL to a step file, and then upload a step file into this program, and then you can alter that file just like how we're doing by cutting holes or.
Yeah. Well, step files are also more higher resolution, right? You can do more with it.
Yeah, you can have a lot of control of what you're doing.
Yeah. Eddie said he got to get back to work, but we'll rewatch. Many blessings to you guys. Thank you, Eddie.
Hey, thank you so much, man, for stopping by. Oh, I dropped that a little too low.
Props and villainy. Kelly says, I'm going to need one of these when you're done. I made 3 of them and sold. I wish I kept my first one. You know what, Kelly? Joel says that all the time. He'll make this killer tauntaun or do this other stuff, and he sells a bunch, and then he never has one for himself. He always sells, the one he's trying to keep. So I hear you with that.
Nope. Oh, I've done that many times, like making something. I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I want to even sell this.
That's different. The difference would be if you won it, You're like, I really want this for
Yeah.
me. Yeah. Nice.
Boom. I mean, this is almost, I mean, almost done, and we're 56 minutes and shooting the shit.
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking. I was thinking something similar type of thing. I was also saying that it gets mesmerizing. You just kind of watch it, like, wow, this is kind of cool watching. So
Now,
very, very
typically, I probably wouldn't unite all of this, but for this little project, I'm going to.
yeah. And well, it's not
But
bad.
like,
Separate them out and then you put them in as they come off the printer.
yep. So just making sure all these little panels are able to go on this. And I would probably make this box anyways out of wood. I think that would be easier.
Yeah.
And this program is how I've been pre-gaming, making Grogu and Carbonite.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha. All right, I'll be right back.
You're good. Yeah, Kelly, if you're still here, like if you ever need some of this stuff made, just let me know. Always happy to help.
Oh, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Scott with the music.
Right? Exactly. Got to have something going on. Gets too quiet. So Kelly says, "Sure thing. Still need to get started on that Stormtrooper backpack that I guess you did."
Yeah, so he reached out and I printed a DIY kit for him.
Oh, nice.
And I sent him like the link to like the metal backpack that I use, the propane backpack, and went to Walmart, took pictures of the pans that I used.
Oh, nice. That's really cool. Yeah, that one part though that's on there that's out of the Tupperware. I mean, when I grew up, the Tupperware pitchers all had that piece. That was the lid.
Yep.
You'd push it in to open it, and you push it in to close it, and it would, like a suction. Everybody had that. So seeing it on the Stormtrooper backpack, you're like, oh yeah, yeah, I know that part. And I
Well,
think,
and I just that's one thing I loved about talking with Roger about. Like he just randomly picked and grabbed and glued and put it all together.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, even the stuff the Brian Muir interview you did, learning the O and the two things on the back of the Stormtrooper armor. I just found a cog and two
Mm-hmm.
pieces of wood. It was like it meant nothing. There was no symbol behind it. But
It
um,
just looked cool.
but like with Roger, so I'm pretty sure RS did a video a while back going through every single part that was in the Sand Trooper backpack, what the original parts were. Like this was the radio, this was that. And that's always fascinating to see what he grabbed or what they used to put that stuff together.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just wild. Another really cool thing about this is now you've designed, you want to give it some color and kind of map out what you're wanting to do.
Right, right, right. You're doing like an R5, R4,
Yeah, and it possibly, it just can be
anything you want.
anything.
Yeah. It's like you can pretty much create
I can't
anything in this
remember
program,
what
is what
color
I'm
though.
seeing.
Yeah, and the fact that you get to play around with it for free at first,
Yeah.
it's one of those like, why not download it and see what you can do?
Hmm. Oh, nice. Kelly says I still have me R5 panel I made. That's nice. Can you create a Ferrari? I would think you could, Gap, if you had the skills to be able to do it and figured it out. I don't see why not.
Yeah. All right. So gray, blue, blue. But yeah, there's a little spot where you can just switch over to visualization.
Nice. Speaking of Ferraris, for Christmas, last Christmas, Janine got me the Playmobil Magnum PI set, which comes with the little Ferrari and the little Playmobil figure. But the Ferrari looks amazing. It looks like the 308 GT, and it's actually classed as a Ferrari product, which I thought was wild.
Oh, that's sweet.
But yeah, it's one of my cool pieces. Cap says, whenever I get one of these machines, I want to create some props like Logan's Run gun from the movie and the Battlestar Galactica TV show Colonial Pistol. Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? There's a good possibility there's somebody out there that may have already done the STLs or the files for those. You just
Mm-hmm.
find something that's close or good, and then you can run it. And um, if you're new to 3D printing, you're going to absolutely love it, man. I'm going to tell you right now. Yeah, see, Gap says, I love that Playmobil Magnum PI. It's on my list. It's a killer set. The Ferrari alone is worth it. And then, of course, the figures. You get palm trees with it. What? Yeah, you get palm trees and some other stuff. I also have the Knight Rider one. And the Knight Rider one does do the in the front thing, and it Kit talks to you, and Yeah, it's the Playmobil stuff is great. I was first introduced to it back in Switzerland or Germany. Um, we were over in Europe for about 6 months. Lived in England and lived in Switzerland. Started first grade in Switzerland, and the Playmobil stuff was all over the place. That was like the toys. That and Legos were the things that kept me going at that young age. Um, but yeah, to see him over here, I've got the Enterprise, the Star Trek Enterprise. I couldn't resist. It's just too freaking cool. So yeah, it's good stuff. All righty, Brett. Catch you
And
later.
there's
Definitely gonna watch the rest of this. Awesome work, Russ.
hey, thank you for stopping, Brett.
Yeah. Louis says, when you enter the world of 3D, it is very addictive because of everything you can do. 100%. It's like, who asked me that? Brett asked me that on Monday. He's like, have you noticed that your collecting's changed or whatever since you've done 3D printing? Yeah, absolutely. Because you start to realize there's certain things that you can print or do that are cool or make you happy or whatever. You know, instead of buying a resin kit of a medical frigate, granted, it's highly detailed and highly accurate. Instead of spending, $1,000 or whatever for that, I could print one for a $30 file, a couple rolls of filament. It's close enough for me. Looks amazing, and I have it as I need it. If I break apart, I can reprint it. Yeah, Gaps. Okay, I love it. You have the Star Trek
Well, it's
Playmobil.
just
So Gap, that Star Trek Playmobil is on Amazon right now. I think for like $250. That's the lowest price. It was originally $500 when it came out. You got a pistol?
that's
It's a
yeah,
pew pew.
like that's just how quick a
Wow, that's amazing. Dang, dude, killing it.
that's like I made some really cool I printed Andy Myers an entire bowcaster, but I went in here and redid all the greeblies so they looked better on the file that I sent him.
Wow. Yeah, bowcaster, right? So Janine did one, and it was I used one layer, one wall loop for clear, and then the red in the center. So it does kind of. I haven't. There's no processing to it. That's actually how it printed at a 0.28 layer height because you want it to be a bigger layer height if you're trying to do clear. But I'm stoked that you can see the red filament in there.
Yeah, that looks amazing.
It's not too bad.
Or I just finished this for Nilda.
Oh yeah, that's amazing, dude. Love the earrings. That's amazing.
Oops.
Yeah. Like wow, dude. So, how many parts is that you had to print? I mean, the eyes are separate, or the eyes you use the ornaments. How did you do it?
Yeah, so I 3D modeled a honeycomb like dome that fits into the Christmas ornament,
Okay.
and then it's like leggings or like pantyhose, depending on how thick you want it to be,
Yeah.
over the honeycomb grid.
Got it.
Because I tried tinting the the lenses, and it's just not. I could not figure it out. I tried all kinds of different ways.
Spraying the inside didn't do it or anything? No.
Yeah, you couldn't see through it.
Oh, right. You want to be able to wear his mask. That's awesome. Mr. Potato Head Spock. Janine just showed me. So is the whole head one print or you have it broken up?
So in the file, I have it broken up where it's the snout, the main body of the head, the back part, and then the bottom where it opens up,
It's amazing, dude.
and and then the hair and the antennas are all printed separate as well.
Separate. Are you selling that file at all?
Yeah, it's on my Beacon account.
Okay.
So
Very cool.
And there's already some of the people that were here, like Ed and Colby, like, you know, they've bought the file and they've built one, or they're in the process of building one.
That's really, really cool. That's awesome, man. Because that's the same one that you use for the Greedo, or is the Greedo different than the one that you did for Nilda, besides color?
It's the exact same one,
Got it.
just different color and different paint.
Got it. Yes, Gap. I did say Mr. Potato Head Spock. So Janine just showed it to me on Amazon. She'll share it here in a second. It's hilarious. So, like for me, being born in 1970, before Star Wars, we had Star Trek. That was really the only sci-fi thing, besides some movies, but mostly Star Trek. And then Star Wars hit, of course, and it's like it's Star Wars. There's no question. It's all Star Wars. But there's still that back love that I had for the original Star Trek show. Captain Kirk and Spock and Bones and Scotty and all that. So yeah, that's still there.
Yeah, I really like the Star Trek movies that they ended up doing.
Yeah. First one, the motion picture, was really slow, very long. The second one was pretty good. Wrath of Khan was great. And then the newer ones that they've been doing, I've actually been enjoying too. So
I'm just hoping that one day we'll get a new Guyver series.
a new MacGyver?
No, Guyver, the dark hero.
Okay, I don't know anything about that. So I have to see. Yeah, Gap
So
says,
on Amazon, they have
go ahead.
the first movie, and Mark Hamill's in it.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So it was 1992 is when it came out.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I was 22. First year into my business.
That was my here. Actually,
yeah, because Gap says I started off with Star Trek, then Star Wars, and Battlestar Galactica, and then the rest of the rabbit hole collecting this. Yeah, I feel you, man. Same thing. I pretty much I only collect Star Wars. I have some Star Trek stuff just because nostalgic reasons, and of course little odd things like the Knight Rider and the Ferraris. I always love Ferraris.
Well, so Knight Rider was amazing too.
Right? And they showed up not that long. It's probably about a year now. But the whole series was on Netflix, and I found myself watching a bunch of them. Love the theme. Oh, is this it? Wow, that's crazy, dude.
So here was Guyver.
Got it.
I have it fully printed, and I am ready to make it.
Yeah. Louis says, did you see the news on Etsy about the sale of 3D prints and STL? I did. I'm still a little bit, don't know enough about it, but it's like you have to be the owner. You have to be the owner of the product. So something that Rex designs, he could sell. But if you were like, oh, I'm going to do a Darth Vader helmet, they're like, no, you don't own that. So, yeah. Oh, well.
And then kind of give a little preview. I am in the process of making a full Grogu and carbonite.
Oh, that's cool.
So these are all the panels,
right,
that I'm having cut out of wood, and then I'm going to take a inspiration from Kelly, and I got old computers and all kinds of stuff to make the little digital pads to go into and all the panels.
How about a Rex or a Scott and carbonite? I'm sure we could do it.
Well, that'd be fun. I'm so on board for that.
Oh, wow, dude.
Grogu.
That's amazing. So you had to model it step by step, right? See the Grogu?
Yeah, and I also modeled his little chicken feet.
Yeah, chicken feet. That's funny.
But I think that is everything modeling for the day.
Awesome.
I mean, that is pretty close, I feel like.
Louis is asking Rex, how's the two tubes project going?
So I have it fully sanded. I just haven't started final paint yet.
Cool.
But I'm pretty happy with how that turned out.
Yeah, it looks really good. And that you just did it off of the picture. That's really cool. Rex says, thanks for doing the stream. Really enjoyed it. Awesome. You gotta go. Hey, Dan, how you doing?
Hey, thank you.
Hi, all. Yeah.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah. What?
Alexa was talking to someone.
Yeah, I heard something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, probably when I said stream.
But I think that is all for today, guys. And Scott, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. This was great. I needed it. I appreciate it.
Now, we might have to do a couple more of these.
Yep. Sounds good.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you and have a wonderful day.
You guys have a great day. Take care.